You're listening to This Week in Tech. I'm your host, Jorge Lopez, for the week of November 16th, 2016. It's that time of year again where the family gathers around the living room to look at their Black Friday circulars. There's a smell of turkey in the air and probably some beer with the slight hint of rosemary. Yes, my friends, it's that time to spend your hard-earned cash on last year's deals, hopefully with a price that is so low you could actually call it a steal. But when is a deal really a steal? On this week's episode, we're going to explore what makes a deal a steal, and hopefully guide you through a lot of that jargon that fills your head and all the circulars, why it is you need to get what you need, and why is it you're standing in the cold, waiting in line to get something that you absolutely have to have because the price looks right. Joining us this week remotely from the studios in downtown Chicago is our special guest, Alex Jewell. Hi, Alex. How are you today?
Hey, Black Friday isn't what it's been in the past. We have the internet now, and it's pretty much Black Friday every day. And so what makes actual Black Friday different, and how do we kind of navigate that along with sites like Amazon and Newegg and Daily Steals and, these sites that have competitive sales.
Yeah, and, one of the things that we've probably heard about is the Amazon days. That comes out right in the middle of the year, and they have a lot of they sell everything just like you would find on Black Friday. It's almost like Christmas in July. A lot of these tech jargons that are out there, you get to see all these TVs, 4K, UHD, and then you see these prices on some other products that are much lower.
I definitely agree on TVs. TVs every year are kind of the crux of the whole event, and people will literally kill each other over them. And the fact is that, you've got TVs that are 50% off, 70% off, of what you would even pay on the internet. That's really what you're going to be looking for. And honestly, I think we're going to talk about what's inside of these TVs, depending on, a few brands, is all really similar.
So is it really worth going out there, having all that, crowd to deal with and having to go? Is it just the institution itself that brings us out to these events, or are we really getting a deal? So I looked at the ads this year, and I noticed that there's some items that were on there, and it seems that TVs were the biggest items, hot ticket items for this year. Alex, what did you notice?
Um, I mean, like we were just talking about, TVs are huge, and I think this year Best Buy's got a really good Sharp HD TV, 55-inch, for $250, and that's like half off of what this thing is normally going to cost. So I would get, the trick with Black Friday is getting there early, getting it out of the way. You've got the rest of the day to heat up some more turkey and mashed potatoes and enjoy your new TV that you didn't have to wrestle anybody over.
So you mentioned the Sharp, and now I'm noticing here a 55-inch 4K 2160p 60 hertz LED smart TV from Philips. What makes this? Oh, and it's got Wi-Fi. Is that Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi, sorry.
Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi, whatever.
Yeah. So what makes this TV a little bit different than the Sharp? Because this one's going for, I believe it's $249.
So that's the same price as the Sharp. I'm not sure. Under the hood, it's probably same stuff. As far as firmware, though, that's where some of the differences occur, right? Is that, whether it's Sharp or Philips, they're going to have different firmware, to especially the smart TVs, to boot up your Netflix or, sort through all the like YouTube or, even some internet browsing. So that's the same price as the Sharp. I'm not sure. Under the hood, it's probably same stuff.
So make me smart here for a second. What is firmware? What are we talking about there?
So firmware it's really basic software, and we call it firmware on TVs rather than like an operating system because it's really way more simple than an operating system you'd have on a computer or something.
So it's like Windows?
Kind of. It's like Windows for your TV, right?
Gotcha. Okay. While I was doing some research on this Philips, I noticed that I could not find the product on their website. What's the importance of being able to find the product on the website? Well, for me, it's because I want to make sure that, especially if it's a smart TV, is it being updated?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Nowadays, I've noticed that some of these smart TVs really are smart. They actually have an operating system on it with an app store and all that, and most of it's free. But with that comes the dangers of getting your TV infected. Yes, your TV can get infected.
Right. It's your discretion what you're putting on your TV.
Sifting through all this, you got the OS, you got the smart TV, you got the 4K LED, 60 hertz, and all that. They're about the same price. So I say, is this deal really a steal? If you need a TV and you really want to go with a large screen, I say go for it. For me, I'd say the deal that's a steal depends on what other items are being offered there. And is it if you're going to be standing there for hours, are you going to be able to get other deals? All right, so that brings us to our next one. If you are going to be waiting in line, you're going to get that TV. What are some other items that are hot this year, Alex?
I think Apple refurbished products are definitely huge this year. A lot of people are thinking new, 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 and we've got a lot of Apple releases this year. What that means, though, is that the refurbished Apple products are going to be dipping in price. That means that the older generation iWatches, even the new refurbished new products, are gonna, Apple. It's the only time of the year that Apple really does anything special, that a lot of these big box stores do anything special for Apple products, um, because the rest of the year they don't really have to.
Ooh, so wait a minute. You're not like talking about buying used underwear, are you here? Because I mean, it's a used product, and they're selling it for cheap. What would make you want to buy refurbished? What makes you what guarantees that this product is actually really a good deal?
The thing with refurbished products, especially with Apple, is they undergo a really rigorous refurbished process. They're not like a pair of underwear that somebody's worn and then kind of like thrown back in a box. They undergo a lot of testing, and pretty much everything is the same that it was when it was bought. In fact, a lot of these are simply just returned items that weren't even used. Um, Somebody might have gotten a phone and they got it home, and their wife decided that they shouldn't have bought a new phone, and it turned into a fight, and they returned it. And then what they have to do with it is sell it as refurbished. So you're really looking at things that are essentially new. It's just they've lost a little bit of value for whatever reason because they've literally been taken out of the box or used for a day or two.
I'd like to go ahead and thank our guest, Alex Jewell, for joining us today remotely.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, so Alex, do you have one last comment for our guests?
I think just have fun. Go out and have a blast. That's why we do it still. It's kind of an American tradition to go out and wrestle people for a TV. So have a blast.
Awesome. And on a final note for this broadcast, just remember, go out, have some fun, maybe have a couple beers before you go, but if anything, think about those who are less fortunate than us. Probably donate to one of your local charities. Our music this week was by Classics. Our cats were a little bit quiet today by having a little bit of catnip.